I've often said if I could put Congress in a choir and really give them the discipline they need to make good communal song, they would govern better, because people don't listen to one another. And that's one of the great life lessons that we do teach, both in instrumental and in choral music. But choral music, we have texts, so that we ask, it's not just the music, but we ask young people, we ask whatever age of singer, consider what is the poet saying? And then how does this composer elevate that text and bring new life to it? And part of that listening is allowing yourself, allowing not just feeling like you have to deliver something to an audience, but allowing the music to touch you and to transform you. But it first of all asking, can you relate to this text? And there are pieces that they don't relate to instantly, or they don't always like instantaneously. Are you just singing words, or do you understand what you're singing about? And when they get to that level, and that's one of the benefits of having a program that's totally memorized, and that is the tradition of the St. Olaf Choir. Because the first couple of concerts, can I just remember the right words? But when they live with them, as we do 15, 16, 17 concerts in a concert tour, seeds are planted in their minds, in their hearts. And I've seen it not just with the choir, St. Olaf Choir. For years I've worked with children. When you start to understand, and you see they're getting it. They're not just singing everything correctly, but they're singing it with an emotion. They're singing it with a joy or a sense of pathos. And yes, that listening skill to match the same vowels, to have, to agree on a centered pitch for a chord to tune, and that sense of unanimity that happens, it's incredible. And I learned that as a boy in the American Boy Choir, and those same traits, when you can transfer those same habits that we had in the rehearsal, we transferred out to the field. And it was a lesson of, so what do we do to make good music? We listen to each other. We respect each other, and while there may have been stars, singers, and star athletes, we were better as a team, we were better as a choir when we worked together. One of my seminal influences in my life was a woman by the name of Helen Kemp, who was a longtime voice teacher and church musician and professor at Westminster Choir College. And her mantra was body, mind, spirit, voice. It takes the whole person to sing and rejoice. When I first heard her do that in a workshop in 1978, I thought it was the stupidest, cheesiest thing I'd ever heard in my life. And most likely is the most seminal bit of information that has stayed in my brain and has maybe changed the way I work. I'm a very I demand a lot of the singers that I work with, but I don't do it, and that's what they have to start to learn to understand about me. It's not because I'm trying to impress people, but if you can eliminate all the things that the human mind and ear can be distracted by, then something more powerful happens in that music making. And it goes beyond entertainment. There's nothing wrong with entertainment, But if a piece of music can be sung that will lift somebody up who's down, and it shouldn't just be left to communities where they can have wonderful community choirs. And I've directed community choirs for many years, but that should be an essential element in every child's education. And that they are exposed to music. They are exposed to, for me, their God-given instrument, their voice. And if they choose then to take on additional instruments, that's great, but you should know how to use your voice. That is the instrument that you don't have to pay for. It's part of who you are. And your way of expressing your joys, your sorrows, When you don't understand, that's when you build up defenses. Rodgers and Hammerstein had it right. You have to be taught to hate and fear. And when you give, and this is what I love about working with children, when you can give them and you show them the beauty of music, of thoughts, and that people who maybe live 10,000 miles away from you share your same heart, share your soul. That's where choral music, for me, has become that bridge between people, and it unifies people. Really believe that music education, arts education, but I'm going to say music education, is essential if we're going to have truly whole human beings who are alive in body, mind, spirit, and voice.